I am Sammy Obama. I am an actor, filmmaker, and I work with a company called Western Edge at the moment. I work in various different areas as a filmmaker as well, and as a producer. And we are in Footscray. This is actually where we filmed my last web series called Javanagini.
My name is Lilu Lay. I'm 19 years old. I'm a Melbourne-based actress, musician, playwright, poet.
My name is Michael Long. I'm 26. I was born in New Zealand. My parents are Samoan.
I'm a theatre maker. I like all things theatre, and I'm also a spoken word poet as well. So I like incorporating both of them into one.
My name is Vanessa Gail Castillo, and I'm from, I would say, the west of Melbourne.
My name is Natalie Luchik, and today we are in Werribee, and this is my parents' pizza shop. It opened literally the day I was born.
I like stepping into character, breathing like life into words. I always like to use expression, but yeah, I'm an actor.
I feel like it's just the best way to tell your story and get your point of views across.
There's just something about acting and about playmaking and about being on a stage that just, I feel like it enables me to access parts of myself that I can't in any other medium.
Since young, you know, you play around with my cousins, my little brother, in the backyard, just make believe, pretending. I think that's like what it was. Like I found is that you can do that.
So I graduated from a Bachelor of Creative Arts in 2016, and within that course I was originally going there just to do writing, and then I ended up doing writing and film, and then writing, film and art, writing, film and then theatre. So it kind of just turned into everything.
The first time I did acting in school, it was like I found something that really meant something to me. Because like all my friends were like good at like the academic stuff, like English, math, science, or even sports, and I didn't really know what I was good at. And then when I was introduced to drama, I was like, oh my gosh, that's it.
My drama teacher said that there was a uni student that had contacted her and was needing extras, and that was my first time just down the road down there. I did my first outside gig of school production, and I loved it. I met some really cool people. It was the first time being on a film set.
Just to see me as a person of color, or wherever it is that I'm from, just to know that someone like me has done it, and they can also see that, you know, the world is theirs. They can do anything they want.
And art isn't about competition. It's just about collaborating and expression and looking at other people's perspectives and ideas.
You put your heart and soul into something on a piece of paper, on a canvas, or, you know, on a laptop or a camera, and it's like, it's just so important to just be involved with yourself.
And then bringing the self of you that you find in the words, and bringing the person who's saying the words and finding their truth and who they are and what's going through their mind and in their life at that time, and how you can bring a bit of yourself into that, as well as making it about them.
I've always grown up hearing people coming, you know, from overseas, like from so far, just to have a good life. And that's always, it's not just Melbourne, it's mainly the West.
I was in a predominantly white high school, and I'm thinking back to my acting class, and I was the only person of colour in that entire class. So I guess in that space I didn't really feel like I had the right to talk about race or to talk about class or any of those things, because I was in a privileged position.
But when you get welcomed into such a big community, you just feel like, wow, this is so great, this is so amazing. And I think at that point I was like, oh, I'm not just a label, I'm not just I'm myself. I'm Vanessa, and I can be who I want to be because I can create that.
Like when I'm not acting, I can't breathe. I gotta eat, I gotta live, I need shelter, I gotta act. That's what it is for me.
When you see that there's people are actually appreciating it, it shows that it's cool to embrace your culture. It's cool to be African, or it's cool to be Asian. It's cool to be Indian. You know what I mean? Like, when you embrace it and you're not ashamed of it and you're just being yourself, it gives room for other people to also express themselves.
I'm not really good at expressing myself that well, and I definitely found that when I did get up on stage and I was acting, it was definitely an outlet for me to express myself.
I aspire to act. Doesn't matter what I do, doesn't matter how much money I make. As long as I act, I'm happy.
And that's the way it should be. Art should be accessible to everybody.
In this apartment building next door, we have so many Indian and Sri Lankan immigrants that are so sweet, gentle and kind that I've just met on the street that I talk to with their babies.
There's a lot of things that I want to write, and they're influenced simply from this town. There's a lot of characters there's a few characters that I've done that have been definitely influenced around people in this town.
I might not be like on stages like all the time anymore. I have so many ideas running in my head, and it's time for me to actually listen to them and acknowledge them.
My dad has been a very big inspiration when it comes to that. He plays guitar in a choir probably ever since I was like 5 years old, and he still plays now, and he's in his 60s, you know? And I think that's absolutely incredible. Like, he's just been playing music, doing what he loves for most of his life, you know? He works a hard job, but he comes home to his loving wife and then he goes and plays music, and I think that's the most inspiring and humble thing.
You can't teach without learning, you know what I mean? So there's like constant growth in teaching, and when you teach, you're reminding yourselves what you learned. So you're learning it pretty much like the second time.
All these people that want the same thing I want, to tell stories, breathe life into text, just create.
So much art that is supposedly directed towards young people. It's always written and directed by people that aren't that age, by people that don't come from those backgrounds.
My name is Samuel Wolde-Abzgi, and my African name is Mebratom Daniel Wolde-Abzgi, you know what I mean? And for the very first time as well, I started to embrace my last name as Wolde-Abzgi.
Being part of Western Edge has really changed my life. Like, the person I was in 2017 and the person I am now in 2019 is completely different. Like, I rocked up to the first session being this like super shy, super awkward, didn't really know what I wanted to do with my acting career. I didn't even know if I could be an actor in this world, because I felt like I had to pretty much climb impossible mountains.
In an actor's world, there's always going to be a role out there, you know? There's always going to be something out there, and it's just about going out and getting it, and not giving up on that.
Even though no one in the room where you are right now doesn't understand what you're going through, just leave. You're allowed to leave that room and go look for another room until you're in the space where you're understood and people listen to you and want to listen to you.
So it's good to have a group of people holding you accountable and you're holding them accountable.
Stay authentic. You need to tell the stories that you want to tell, not the stories that you think other people want to hear or that other people feel are important to tell. You tell the stories that you want to tell.
Flood the stages with like new stories. That's what I want to see.